like the girl I'm with now, she was saying, "Oh, like, why do you act like you're broke?" She said that to me yesterday, and I was just like, because I just don't care about showing off to strangers because they don't matter. Like, do you know what I mean? If you think I'm broke, cool, but like more than
Yeah.
likely I've got more in my bank account than you. Like, do you get what I'm
Yeah.
saying? But it is what it is. Um,
I
let
have
me
a
just say,
question. Sorry,
go on,
very
go on,
quickly.
quick.
Does it matter if your partner earns more than you,
For me personally,
or like all the guys in here?
Me personally, no. However, if it's coming at the detriment of the relationship, then yes. If your career is all you care about and you just like all systems go with that and there's nothing else to you other than career, it's boring. But if someone's really happy, they're genuinely lit up and the place they're coming from is I'm doing so well inside me that money just flows to me and I'm happy about it. And they're chilled and relaxed and they're not trying to get it and hustle. That's a very tiny percentage of people, not just
Yeah.
women. That's tiny. Then you can have at it. I don't really care.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd say it depends on the woman's temperament, how she is. Like, because some people get drunk with power, drunk with money,
Yeah.
and money does bring power. And honestly, I just don't think most, since we're being specific to your scenario, I don't think most women would be able to handle that and still respect the guy that they're with.
That's
I just don't believe in it. I've seen it happen where, a woman's making more money than the guy's turned into her son
oh yeah.
or a bitch. Do you get what I'm saying? And me personally, I wouldn't like. Okay, I was messing with some chick, and she was making considerably a lot more money than most people, men or women, right? But she was very just down to earth, calm. You wouldn't even know, because if you didn't see her in her car, you wouldn't know. Do you get what I'm saying? She was just calm, just wear tracksuit, go to the gym, all that, calm, calm, calm. But again, I think that's a very small minority of people in general, and especially with what I was saying about a lot of modern women are hyper materialistic. They have to have everything.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying? Accessories to the brim, and I just don't think that it would be a good look, especially for someone like me who I don't really like to spend money. I don't even like to spend money on myself, let alone just spend frivolously giving it to designers
Yeah.
in Italy that don't like me anyway.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
it's real like that. So I wouldn't care, but I just doubt that the modern women these days, on the pool of dating that I have, I just don't think most of them would be able to respect a guy who's making less than them.
And
I just don't believe it.
And I think I'm sorry. I know I'm cutting you off. Just one
No,
second.
it's fine. You can...
I always say the experience thing. It's like if you've been on a yacht, if you've been to Dubai, if the guy's bought you champagne, you've had them like the $5,000 lobster and all this other stuff, and then your man is making 50K a year, 30K a year. It's very difficult for most people, not just women, but most people to like downgrade or like, oh, he can't come with me. I have to pay. Like you said, it turn into your son or your bitch. There's so many examples of that, and this is a kind of like I've seen this so many times. These women can't keep a man, and they say that, oh, am I not enough? Do I not have enough? And it's not about having; it's who you're being. The being you can have £5 and be incredible
Yeah.
to be with. You can have 5 million and be a nightmare to be with.
Yeah, absolutely. Can I just say before you go in, everyone hit the like button. At least 100 of you are just sitting there and have not hit the like button. Maybe you forgot to do it. Maybe you just got in here, but the likes are not even near the viewers right now. Yeah, and I need you lot to do your part. Hit the like button. Yeah, you lot be liking the videos of a lot of questionable people out there. I'm just gonna keep it real. A lot of times, yeah, you lot will support a lot of people out there that are not real, that can't even do this. This is live. This isn't pre-recorded. A lot of your favorite people, they can't do this because they don't have the charisma or the intelligence to do this. But you always support them. So please, humbly, hit the like button. Better yet, support, hit the super chat or whatever. But anyway, what do you think about it, bro?
Of course, if she's earning more than me in the future, not currently because I'm not looking for a woman right now, but in the future, if she's earning more than me, which will never happen, I'm obviously going to look for. I'm not going to look for a woman who's incredibly career focused. It's not the thing. She needs to be focused on being people orientated and essentially to have my kids, and that's what I'm looking for. And I'll be the provider. She doesn't need to be a provider. What's she being a provider for? Nothing. So I'm not looking for any career.
Gee, what makes you say that the woman would never be earning more than you? I'm curious.
It comes. I would agree. It comes from an ego perspective,
Okay.
and I want to earn more because I want to provide for the family.
Why can't the woman be the provider as well? It should be equal. You're a family.
That's not equal. We already discussed male and female are different. Equality.
Yeah, but a family is one. It
Yeah.
shouldn't. It shouldn't ever be where the guy holds over the family, being like, "I provide for you."
She'll love that though.
Mm,
Of course,
okay.
because
I don't
she's.
think
Let
it
me
has
ask-
to
let
be
me ask her-
oppression.
Let me ask you a question. You know, when you went on the first date with the guy that you was in a relationship with, did you pay?
Yeah, I did.
You paid for the whole date.
No, I paid for myself.
You paid, so you went 50-50. Did you? So in your relationship, would you say you always went 50-50?
Well, we never really went on many dates, but if I go on dates now, I offer to split it.
Every single time?
I'd either say let me pay it, or if they're like no, I'll be like okay, let's split.
So you wouldn't mind paying for, if you started seeing a guy, you wouldn't mind paying it. And let's say you went on dates every single week. You
No.
wouldn't mind paying every single time for you and him.
No, I think it should be equal, but I wouldn't mind I wouldn't mind paying.
Mhm. Do you think that you will like respect the guy to be the leader if you're paying 50-50?
I don't think there is like a leader thing if we're doing 50-50. I don't really deep it that much, to be fair.
No, I get you. I'm just picking your brain. So you don't really think about the concept of a man being a leader, like in your relationship with you.
No, I think it's nice, like if they like are leading in certain situations, but when it comes to like paying the bills and stuff, I don't ever think like, oh, I'm paying the bills or you're paying the bills.
Okay. What if you was in a relationship, you was living with the guy, and the guy lost his job, and then he couldn't get another job? You'd be fine just paying the bills from then on.
Yeah, because I'm not going to break up with him just because he's got no job. He'll find another job.
What if he doesn't find another job in the next 5 years? What would you do?
Then, really and truly, do I love him enough to be in a relationship with him if I'm just going to give up on him like that?
I mean, that's all good in theory, isn't it? That's good in theory.
You know-
Because you know what, I'll say something from a personal point of view.
Mm.
My dad has had health conditions before. He's also a severe alcoholic.
Mm.
I don't remember the last time he worked. My mum hasn't given up on my dad just because he's an alcoholic
Mhm.
and no job. He hasn't worked for like probably 5-6 years now.
Mhm.
He's had like a job for like maybe 2 months, and then like he'll leave because he's an alcoholic and he's a bus driver, so he obviously cannot drive. But
Yeah,
my mum hasn't given up on him.
But that's your anecdotal experience, though.
And-
if you
But that's
think,
what I look up to.
I feel you. That's your own paradigm. Like that's your own, like you've grown up to see that. So that's
Yeah.
kind of been programmed into you.
Yeah, I guess,
But
yeah.
do you think that's the traditional view?
I think females in this generation would love. I know people personally to be like, oh, like I've never paid for a single thing in my relationship, so why should I get into a relationship where, like, if they've broken up, for example, and she gets into another relationship and she has to pay, she'll be like, what the fuck? I never paid in my last relationship. So I know people in my generation love the whole princess treatment, like, oh babe, here's some flowers, oh let me take you on a date, let me pay for it, here's a random gift. Like, I get that, and I see it in the generation, but I personally I can't sit there and say that I am like that because I'm not.
I think you got a very kind of Disney way of thinking about it, because think about this year. What if you're with this guy who doesn't really make money and you're going 50-50, and yeah, what if if I love him, blah blah blah. What if you get pregnant and you can't work? What's gonna happen then?
Me?
Yeah. What if you get pregnant? You're with the guy, you go 50-50. If he stops working for 5 years, that's okay because love conquers all. What if you get pregnant and you can't work? What happens then?
Well, I don't know.
Exactly.
The
But
other-
surely we'll be preventing me getting pregnant.
Again, that's hope. That's not planning. That's hope.
Yeah.
You don't know that, bruh. That's dangerous, blood. That is very dangerous to just be like, oh well, it'll work out somehow.
No,
That's
but like
dangerous.
if we've gotten pregnant by accident, then I'm sure there's a way that like
Abortion, right?
no.
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 That's the only way to stop it.
Well,
After you get pregnant.
well, you know what?
While you get pregnant.
I personally wouldn't.
Yeah, but of course. But you're saying that if it happens, he was talking about the whole risk scenario.
Yeah.
And he's saying it's gonna happen. Then you're leading up to that point.
Well, I was gonna say that
You
we'll
don't
find
find
a
you
way.
find a way.
I
How?
think she was trying to say
Right.
if they go through the pregnancy, they'll find a way.
Yeah.
That's what I think she was trying to say.
Yeah.
Okay.
But like,
My apologies.
I obviously can't say anything because I can't imagine myself being in a situation like that right now. So I wouldn't know what to say because there's no right and wrong in that situation, is there?
Let me just ask the ladies, yeah, would you all be happy with going 50-50 with your man and then showing him the utmost respect as the leader in your relationship or household?
So I've been like, I see a lot of myself when I was younger in here because I was the one paying for the dates and maintaining the relationship because I was like, yeah, 50-50 equality and I'm very independent. I don't want your money. And when guys are offering me to pay dates, I was feeling like so awkward. I didn't know how to accept it. And I was like, I already pay. I'll pay for me and for you. But then it's like, if you want a bit of family, I do agree with you. Like we are a whole, so we cooperating. But eventually, it's gonna be the woman getting pregnant, and the woman needs to ask for maternity. So at that point, I will need my man to step up and being like a provider, because men are naturally
Yeah,
provider.
but they don't always need to be providers, is what I was saying. Obviously, when we get pregnant,
No,
like,
no, I do agree with
Yeah.
you. Like, I'm not the kind of woman that will be the princess there and say, yeah, my man is buying me this and this and this.
Yeah.
And I've been sitting down here just being beautiful. No, like, it's not going to happen. It's not me. It's not the kind of woman that I am. But at the same time, I do understand that men wants to be, they're happy to be providers. They're happy to take care of their women. So even if like, I'm earning less than my man, or it can be like during a long-term life, it could be sometimes that you're gonna be up and they're gonna be down and you need to pick me up. And then it's gonna happen that I'll be up and you're gonna be down. And that point I'll pick you up.
Yeah.
That's like cooperation.
I just think there's a level of authority that comes with being in charge of like and being responsible for like the providing and stuff like that, because you can't really be the leader from the back and you can't really be the leader if both of you are doing the exact same
Yeah.
thing. You're not the leader. You're just 50-50. That's all it is. Now, I'm not saying that a man has to necessarily pay everything, because again, as we said, we live in a side of the world that's very expensive, right? So I feel like this, like a woman I'm with should be willing to contribute at
Yeah.
least. Like if I come to my woman and be like, you know what, times is hard this month, like boom, we may not be able to do this and do that, and you really want to do it, then cool, you can pay for it, cool. But I'm saying that like probably majority of the time I'm gonna be the leader, so there's certain duties that come with that. Do you get what I'm saying? Where the protection and providing aspect comes into it. What do you think about it?
Yeah, it's funny because my husband and I were talking about finances just this week, and we were looking at everything together. And the way that we've kind of split it is like everything he earns. And to be honest, I agree with you both in that it is one pot. Like it's not a his, mine. You know, we're a family, right? It's ours. But if I look at it from just like the black and white figures, is what he earns is what provides, and my earnings is what we save. And so that's how we
That
operate.
makes sense. Yeah.
That's how we operate. And I think, to me, going back to sort of what we were talking about being hyper materialistic, like I think it really depends on the place where each of them are coming from, right? If someone's coming from the place of, like you were saying, oh, I'm just going to sit back and do fuck all, and like it doesn't really matter, and I just I'm a kept woman or a kept man. I personally wouldn't want to be in a relationship with someone.
It sounds like a sugar baby,
Yeah.
isn't it? Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
That's some
exactly,
sugar
right?
baby vibes. Yeah.
I wouldn't want that. So I do want to contribute to our relationship, but equally, I think I've come from a family who our money is just our money. No one's like, that's mine or that's mine. And his family is exactly the same. And we're actually sort of a unit. I used to live with in a family of 10 in the household when I moved in with him. And it was like, no one asked me. They were like, we've just insured you on the car. You know, it's like, I'm now part of the family unit, and we provide for each other.
I think another aspect is like for men, or for in my opinion, is like when you're dealing with a woman who is entitled. Do you get what I'm saying? So like if you're dealing with a woman who, oh yeah, get me this, get me that,
Yeah.
you don't want to do nothing for a girl like that. Like, do you know what I mean?